good morning, and welcome to Cast's replays all day, because otherwise he might have to go outside where there's somehow a foot of snow at the end of March and it won't stop. Sorry. Welcome to NGS Season 19, where we're going to have Xul Gin Distillery facing off against Pepegas On Ice here in Division C. We have banned maps from Xul Gin Distillery. Volskaya Foundry gone, and Cursed Hollow has been cursed out of existence. On the other side, Pepegas On Ice have banned the Garden of Towers, and the Towers of Doom have been doomed. So they will play their first match on Sky Temple. Not a map we see frequently in NGS, at least as far as I've had the privilege of casting. So I am looking forward to this one. We will be diving right into the game files because this is a replay cast. There is no draft section. So we will do a very quick draft analysis before leaping in and see what these two teams have to give us. Let's pop in. Once I press the right buttons. Shh. So, on the left, we have the blue team, who are Xul Gin Distillery. They've drafted Johanna, Thrall, Brightwing, Tassadar, Tychus. For the most part, this is a really good draft, in my opinion. So, Brightwing is a global, and on a map this large, globals are incredibly helpful to making sure nobody is found left on their own. Pretty much all these characters outside of Tassadar can safely stand on a point and escape if they need to. So that also helps as well in case both teams have lost some characters. It's nice to have something like a Tychus or a Thrall that can stand on that point and possibly duel if they need to. I said Garden of Towers. I am very smart at 9 a.m. in Canada time. Uh, but Tassadar gives you the wave clear that Tychus doesn't necessarily bring. And they do have some competent camp clear. I wouldn't say it's the fastest, but they have competent camp clear if they send the support, and either one of these assassins honestly can clear a camp fairly quickly. On the red side, we happen to have Pepegas On Ice, and they have the draft of Varian, Ariel, Leoric, Li Ming, and Sylvanas. Now, this draft isn't quite as strong at standing on point. Sylvanas doesn't like getting hit by the little guys. Li Ming doesn't. Leoric is okay, but doesn't really have any way to sustain off them like he does off of heroes. This feels to me much more like they want to find you on the point and beat you off of it. Just kill you or make your hit bar so low. But with the variant, they do want to get the kill, although I'm not really seeing strong follow-up to the variant taunt. No hard CC from Ariel, no hard CC from Leoric until he gets Entomb at 10. Li Ming, nothing. Sylvanas, nothing. So this is actually a draft that outside of the taunt variant has 0 hard CC outside of whipping into wall. And that's a little concerning in my opinion. Yes, they have damage, but if they want to control somebody like the Tassadar, control somebody like the Tychus, how? In what way? I mean, their wave clear with Sylvanas is good, their camp take is good, but they're designed to fight and not do much else. So, without further ado, let's pop into this game and see what happens in game number 1 in this Div C match between Xul Gin Distillery and Pepegas On Ice. In the blue, like you've already been told, we have Xul Gin Distillery. DeWitt is playing Johanna, Nutcracker on Thrall, Lead on Brightwing, Ankle Shot playing Tassadar, and Befresh playing Subway. Sorry, playing Tychus. And the red team, we've got Pepegas On Ice. Dangerous enough as Pepegas, twice as dangerous when it's slippery. Tomgin playing Varian, Muidar on Ariel, Peas playing Leoric, Sylphrenia is on the Li Ming, and we've got Raptor playing Sylvanas. They've pinged to do the cheese, and it doesn't seem like Xul Gin Discovery. Yes, they've thought of it also. They're going to rotate. While Johanna goes for the Vision top. She's gone Laws of Hope, going for that health sustain, which again on a point map can provide a little more value. We have the Echo of the Elements, not something we frequently see from Thrall, but not too bad if he is your offlaner. We've got the Hyper Shift, we've got Psi Infusion, so the W build for the Tassadar, which we frequently see at this level. They usually either go for the Shock Ray or this Sign Fusion. And we have the quarterback from Tychus. There's still some trades going on down here as they're looking to get some value here with the black arrows. Tassar has put himself in a really dangerous position. He's extremely low. He does get locked down by Tomkin. He's only got 50 hit points. Oh, he just manages to avoid being the very first blood on this map. The quarterback from Tychus points towards a grenade build, and many people prefer that. I personally like the distance build, but there's no arguing the burst that you can get from grenade build is tremendous. It's tremendous. It's amazing. On the red side, we've got the Overpower, so this can give Varian kind of a surprising burst of damage after he's blocked an auto attack. That additional crit with the 40% more damage is very strong. Searing Light coming out from the Ariel, not unusual. The Ossian Renewal on Leoric. Aether Walker, so an E build likely coming out from this Li Ming. And we have Might of the Banshee Queen, so the power stacking for Sylphrenia's Sylvanas. They are clearing up the minions here. Thrall's by himself top. We have 2 mid and we have 2 bottom. So 1-2-2, which we don't commonly see. But it is simpler than worrying about getting caught rotating, especially with Tomkin's Varian grabbing a whip. They do lock down Ankle Shot, but he's able to stay alive. And instead, Sylvanas is killed as they get the turn kill here. The Blue Giants have been killed, but the Red Giants are still up. They are adding some damage at the end here, but Muidar is getting incredibly low, and the Shockwave comes out and kills the Ariel. A 2-for-0 early on. Oh, but Brightwing is killed by the Giants, and again, fighting with these Giants in the back has led to chaos in this team fight. Oh, B-Fresh hardly managed to get that dash out in time, manages to let the gate absorb Sylphrenia's damage. Oh, sorry, it isn't Sylphrenia's, Sylvanas. It is, in fact, Raptor's Sylvanas. I lied to you, and I apologize. Is it possible to be first blood if you don't have blood? Raka asking the tough questions early on a Friday morning. I mean, I guess the Skeleton King could provide first marrow. As for Mecha Tassadar, first oil. They're looking to gank Nutcracker up here in the top lane. But he manages to walk away. They're putting some damage onto Sylphrenia. The grenade comes out, but he doesn't yet have the 7 talent that gives him the dot on his grenade. So at this point, there's not too much danger to Sylphrenia. Ankle Shot just looking to make sure that this minion wave is cleared. It does put himself in a risky position. If Varian comes around this way, Ankle Shot is 100% dead. But again, because this team doesn't really have anyone who can stand on point by themselves, they have to group up this 4, where Thrall's bottom, Tychus is pushing mid, although Peas has shown up to clear the wave and dissuade him from free pushing the mid fort. And in the top lane, it's almost done, firing off. Ankle Shot is there. Tomkin looks for the slow, just misses line tank. He will taunt, but he's taunting under tower, so he's going to take some damage here. But the last few shots come out, and this fort is at about 1/3. But the blue team in response, Xul Gin Distillery has taken their first fort in the middle. They are running towards them, though the taunt does come out on B-Fresh, but the Sylphrenia damage was not at the taunted person, so Ariel will go down, Sylvanas will go down, and B-Fresh is eating fresh all over this map. 2 kills. Tomkin retaking the vision. I don't know if he's trying to bait them away from attacking the fort. If he gets a good taunt here, Sylphrenia might be able to put some damage on, get maybe a return kill, but it's risky. He could also just die. They're almost a full level behind, and Tens will be coming out before too much longer. He does push Nutcracker right under his fort as that first gate is down. Tomkin. Oh, they jump onto DeWitt, and he gets solo, but instead they get the return kill onto Sylphrenia's Li Ming. And really great attempts, they're just not getting the execution they're looking for when trying to kill these members of the red team. The Lion's Fang comes out, but it misses Ankle Shot. But this top fort, only at about 10%. Raptor wants to use the black arrows to finish it off. But the members of Xul Gin Distillery are still here, and they have to be careful. Sorry. The red team has to be careful. Pepegas has to be careful, because the members of the blue team are still nearby and not looking to give up this fort. Tens do come out for Xul Gin Distillery. The Iron Skin is popped, meaning the taunt cannot come out onto her. Blessed Shield comes out, and they're going to use it right now, but D-Wit is completely alone. Ankle Shot just coming up now, but the Black Arrows are used, and the fort does go down. No one dies, even though the Blessed Shield had come out. We've got Earthquake for the Thrall, which will make fighting on points that much more difficult for a team that wants to fight on the points. We've got Blink Heal from Brightwing, Black Hole from Tassadar, and the Draken Laser Drill. He did go Master Assassin, but went Laser Drill instead of Odin. That's a bit of a surprising choice. Tens will be coming out just now for the members of Pepegas On Ice. So we do have the Disintegrate, the Wailing Arrow, Crystal Aegis. We've yet to see the Oryx, but it's almost certainly Entomb. I don't know that I've ever seen an NGS player take March of the Black King when they are being serious. And out comes the heal onto Be Fresh. They are standing on this point. This is the only point available right now. A big Bruiser Camp is pushing the top. Leo has been sent to deal with that, but they're still looking to fight the 4v5 here in the bottom lane. Pepegas Shock Collars is brave. They're going straight for Brightwing. She takes so much damage. The Wailing Arrow does go, but here comes the Earthquake, and Lee is so low. She's dead immediately. Oriole gets killed as well. Tomkin destroyed. The Giants killed, and Sylvanas is going to hightail it out. This is not a fight she can win on her own. And again, it feels like they're just taking fights that they're not sure they can win. With Leoric away, the Entomb might have been a big help there, and they got some good damage onto Lead on that Brightwing, but it wasn't enough to kill, and then it turned pretty much immediately on them with the ability of Tassadar and Tychus to do a lot of damage in a tight area. So they'll lose their bottom fort as well, and top gate is down with the fort being at about 75%. We do see the Warbringer for Varian and the Entomb for Leoric. Boss is taken in the meantime by the members of the Xul Gin Distillery, and they are going to push in this bottom lane with this big, sandy Sphinx Centaur, or Sphinctor, as we've decided to call it. Definitely doesn't sound like any other words in the English language. Nope, not at all. Not whatsoever. Leo and Tomkin, they are kind of caught here. Tomkin gets incredibly low. Out comes the Blessed Shield. The Crystal Aegis is going to come out onto Tomkin. He's desperate to get behind that gate. The Warbringer lets him dash to Sylphrenia, and for the moment he is safe. But Sylphrenia gets pulled out by the Condemned. Entomb comes out from Peas, but isn't this really a fight they want? Tomkin will dash in, but a great stun there for the Black Hole, and they turn and kill Tomkin. Peas incredibly low. The Condemned comes out. They catch Muidar on the Oriole. Lead gets low, but there's so much damage, and the health bars are not robust right now. They do clear the boss without their keep taking damage, but their gate is gone, and that was with only 4 members. Thrall stop clearing this wave. Leo gets killed. He was up too far and gets killed by the Tychus. So, a game that is really not going in the favor of Pepegas On Ice so far. They're looking to regroup, find themselves some advantages, and bring themselves back into a game where they're 2.5 levels behind currently. 13s have come in, and Oracle. Often we see Shadow Walk for Tassadar at level 13, but today we're getting the Vision for our friend Tassadar. So he can heal while standing still, and he can channel for up to 4 seconds, revealing an increasing area anywhere on the map. And again, for a team that wants to kind of catch you and fight you, a big part of that is surprise. Oracle will make that much more difficult. Tomkin comes in. He does taunt Be Fresh, but a good condemn from Duet makes him safe. The shields are coming out. Be Fresh is healthy. Tomkin managed to get to the other side before the wall comes down, so he is not killed. No one goes down, and they are on an equal talent tier, but not for much longer. All ultimates are available to the members of both teams currently. Give me a second. I actually need to blow my nose. Anybody do anything interesting? Thank you. Thank you, teams. It looked like they were trying to start a fight there. I'm glad that they failed. It is 5v5 over the top shrine. The bottom shrine is an afterthought at this point. They're putting some damage out onto DeWitt, and the Wailing Arrow comes out as well. Here comes the Entomb, but the Black Hole comes out, as does the Earthquake, and Peas is dead. Tomkin is down to half health, and they are chasing hard. Although everyone is out of the Earthquake. Now, the tower is still here, meaning there is some layer of safety. But Muidar, incredibly low. Tomkin at half. Only Sylphrenia is at full health, and they have to come bottom and deal with this giant camp that is destroying their bottom keep. Top fort is down to this temple, and it looks like, no, they will not chance going towards the bottom. But the less, if they don't go for this bottom, they'll get destroyed as well. So, in the mid lane, ankle shot clears out. Now, they are getting very spread out, and this is something that could work in the advantage of Pepegas On Ice. If they can find one person alone and kill them, that gives them an opportunity to get some pressure on the Tomkin. The Iron Skin comes out. Lead is also coming onto DeWitt, and the Polymorph is out on Tomkin. I don't know if that's Tomjin or Tomkin. We're going to go with Tomkin. The Shockery comes out a good crystal edge, but here comes the Black Hole, trying to keep the healer from there. Nutcracker and Tychus looking to come in from the side. A Wraith Walk from Peas makes him safe, and Raptor uses the Haunting Wave to get away as well. And so, all five will manage to get away, even as Be Fresh chucks another grenade at them and does have 11 stacks on his Master Assassin, but no Odin to benefit from that ability. The advantage of Peas, he turns into a famous musical group when he gets hurt. No, he doesn't look like a Sting, he turns into a ghost. Silly Raka. Alright, the top bruiser camp will go over, and the other top bruiser camp is being pinged. Johanna's heading for it right now. Bottom shrine, both temples captured by the members of Xul Gin Distillery, and they have a huge advantage in structures and in kills at the moment. The kills 11-1 for our blue team. Sorry, my microphone was quite a ways away from my mouth, so if I wasn't sounding clear, that is why. Apparently blowing my nose pushed my microphone away. Get good, caster. The red team looking to bait on this giant camp. They're going to take it as well. Peas does get the Drain Hope onto DeWitt immediately. Does not drop the Entomb, but the taunt will come out as they steal these Siege Giants. Nucker, the Entomb comes out on Thrall. Out comes the Root. That Earthquake comes out as well. The Black Hole comes out, but Peas was unstoppable at the moment. But Muidar instead gets caught. The Laser Drill goes down as well, and Tomkin is going to die also. They're going to kill these Giants, and they're also going to look to take this boss, as they had another 2 for 0, as these team fights just continually are cleanly going into the hands of Xul Gin Distillery, despite the choice of a fighting comp from the members of Pepegas On Ice. And if this, oh, Black Eye Pays. Tomjin? Maybe. So, boss is taken. Blue team looking to see if there's anyone they can kill to make this defense even weaker. And if I can offer a Silver's advice on maybe one of the weaknesses of their draft, they did not draft any hard crowd control outside of the taunt. Nothing to follow that up. Nothing to make the lockdown stick. And not really anything to prevent the rest of the team from following up, like a Falstad Gust or something to maybe disengage other members. So the boss is on core. Blue team not looking to fight with it, but instead to siege this mid fort. And Tomjin and Peas are in a bit of a tricky spot right now. Boss will go down before it even takes all of the core shields away. So this is a little bit of a missed opportunity for Xul Gin Distillery, but they'll be hitting 20 momentarily. So let's see what talents they're choosing as they go for this top temple, which honestly, if it's given over, they'll probably lose both of their keeps. It doesn't have a gate. No gate here. They'll likely lose both keeps to this temple. We have Radiating Faith, so the upgrade to Blessed Shields. We have Invisible Friends from Brightwing, Forest Barrier, so the wall upgrade for Tassadar, and Focusing Diodes, the Draken Laser Drill upgrade as well. And we do have the Earthen Shields. Earthen Shields is terrible news for our red team. It means that their opponents will be even harder to kill in team fights, and they've already been having the problem that they are not killing anyone in team fights. The last few shots of the temple will capture the mid keep as well, and that's it. There are no buildings left on the side of Pepegas On Ice. So, blue team coming into siege. All 5 members are here for Pepegas on Ice. Xul Gin Distillery. They do have 20, but they're not looking to force the issue yet. They want to find an advantage first. That makes DeWitt invisible. They're hiding in this bush. So Freddy does throw the orb, which does discover them. Out comes a Blessed Shield, but it just comes up short. That is a 60-second cooldown that does not find value here. The taunt does come out onto DeWitt, but the cleanse comes out. They do look at Tomjin here, but they're not finding what they want. It seems like for now, Xul Gin Distillery is going to go for their Siege Giants, as there's not really anything else on the map to collect. 30 seconds on the Bruiser Camp. This Bruiser Camp's coming up now, and this Siege Camp is a ways away. DeWitt looking to see if they can force their opponent's Bruiser here, actually. Blessed Shield up in 20 seconds. And yes, they're going to force their way onto their opponent's camp. That whip just coming up short on B-Fresh. Nutcracker takes about a third of his health there in damage. But they do force their opponents away. The orb and magic missiles are coming over the wall. The night of the sun grows. They can't even afford to trade these altars. The electric force wall does come out. He's managing to get away with the Wraith Walk here. Out comes a Blessed Shield though, and it hits 4. The Dragon Laser Drill is down. They're taunting the Tychus, but they're not able to do enough damage. Tom's just taking so much damage. The Entomb comes out as well, but Peas is taking a lot of damage. The Unstoppable is on Johanna. The Great Hope comes out, but it misses, and that is the end. A full stack of Master Assassin for Tychus. And they are just attacking this core. It's at 40%, 30%, 20%, 10%. Ariel is dead, and game number 1 is over, and it goes to Xul Gin Distillery. I can English the words with mouth. This is how we'll do game summary, and we'll make it quick. 16-1 tells the story of this game. The composition drafted here had some good ideas, but the use of Ariel as opposed to maybe a Stukov, an Anduin, and a Malfurion really prevented the target of Taunt from being able to be blown up by the Li Ming combo with the Sylvanas follow-up. And that made life hard. I don't think anyone on this team played a particularly poor game. I don't think it was because they played their characters poorly. They fell behind early, and hard CC is a good way to force a kill early on something like a Tassadar and something like a Brightwing. And they just weren't able to get those early kills. They fell a little bit behind, and it snowballed on them. And that's the problem with Sky Temple. I've been told by high-level players that this is one of the reasons people don't like to play it. If you get a small building lead early, structure lead early, you can just trade temples the rest of the game and win. You don't even have to fight, and that can be frustrating. Now, that's not what happened this game, but it did snowball, and red team started playing as cautiously as possible, but it meant they were forced to give every temple over. And this comp, it wasn't designed to take the temples, it was designed to fight, and playing from behind made it almost impossible to come back, and that's sort of what happened. So that's game number 1. GG's. And we'll see what these teams have to bring us for game number 2. So game number 2 is going to be on Brax's Holdout, a very, very fun map. So, Xul Gin wins game 1 and Brax's Holdout for game 2. So, this is a fun 2-lane map. It involves usually a duel in the top lane between 2, but we've seen now a couple of times teams are going 2-3 split occasionally. It's not the regular, it's not normal, but it does happen. So we'll see the 4-man on the bottom and a 1 on top, but we sometimes see, like I said, the 3-2 instead with sort of a gatekeeper in the bottom lane. So definitely some interesting strategies can come out here. You want to make sure you have good clear, because even if they lose, your opponents will get some level of a Zerg wave. So let's see game number 2 on Brax's Holdout. So the blue team, our Xul Gin Distillery, has made a couple of changes, but they still have the Joanna and the Tassadar that looked very good in game number 1. So no problem with that whatsoever. And again, they're strong on this map. Tassadar good at doing damage in tight chokes, which our beacon areas are, and is also good at clearing the Zergway, which makes sense. He's Protoss. They're born to destroy Zerg, so, you know, why would you not pick Protoss here? Like our Tannis! That was a Hoku call out. Love you, Hoku. We've got Nutcracker on the Leo, which can duel fairly well on the point, especially into a Dahaka. But if it's Dahaka Falstad, he might get pressured away pretty easily. We've got Befresh on Vala and Lucio being played by Led, which should facilitate fast rotations if they want to, but also long-term sustain on the point, which makes it hard for your opponent to kind of tax you, and then when your healer backs for mana, they can try to take the beacon. So both teams have gone with sustain healers whose mana does not restrict their abilities to heal, and that's pretty smart on the beacon maps. Because time on the point is everything. You don't want to be forced to back. On the far side, we see the double global comp. Now, on a smaller 2-lane map, this doesn't always find value, but there are still opportunities to use it to force an outnumbered fight. And again, it seems like fighting is what Pepegas on Ice would like to do. So we see Falsta and Dahaka. We have ETC. It might be Mosh for the tight points, but let's look at Boop can push if it's done right. Black Hole. Condemn if it's done. So there are a couple of interrupts on the far side. This might be the vaunted triple global with the stage die ETC, but we'll just see how it goes. ETC's strong CC abilities can help a lot on the point as well. Both his power slide and his whatever his W's called. I'm having a brain fart here. Both of them can provide you space, which is exactly what you want. And the Oriole healing should be enough to keep him alive because ETC has a pretty small health pool, especially compared to Johanna. Chromie's great in doing damage in small areas like Tassadar, so I'd say they're fairly equal there. But this is a team that needs to use these globals because they just don't have the damage. They need to use these globals effectively. To be able to win game 2 and bring themselves into game number 3. But without further ado, let's see where game number 2 takes us. On the blue side, we have Xul Gin Distillery making that Necromancer Ale. We've got DeWitt on Johanna, Nutcracker playing Leoric, Ankle Shot playing Tassadar, Be Fresh marketing sandwiches, and Led playing Lucio. Systems online in 10. On the red side, representing Pepegas On Ice, we've got Raptor playing the Falstad, T-Core on Dahaka, Peas is on the Oriole, Tomjin on ETC, and Sylphrenia on the Chromie. So we have had a, what's the word I'm looking for, a substitute. T-Core is in. And it seems like whoever was healing last game is out. I already don't remember because I have the memory of a goldfish. And yeah, you're right, Rocka. They do like Ariel. I think that Ariel has great healing throughput, but you need plans for what her weaknesses are. She lacks hard CC follow-up outside of a whip, so it really depends on positioning whether she can be helpful with a hard CC follow-up. And she has no cleanse. And both for ultimates set your teammate up to immediately be hard crowd controlled afterward. So while Ariel has been buffed and is quite strong, if you don't plan for her weaknesses that other healers can provide, you can find yourself very much on the losing side. So Leoric is playing this incredibly safe, does not want to get globally ganked, so he's going to wait for this wave to push in, or he's at least going to be very patient. So, looking at level 1s, as this team seems to want to rotate very early. Going into their camp right away. Just instantly camps. I don't know that I've seen this on this map. Both teams just instantly going, it's time for camping, it's summertime. Not in Canada, foot of snow. We see, once again, Laws of Hope. And we can't say that went poorly for DeWitt. He was always alive in the last match. We see the Ossian Renewal for our Leoric. Psi Infusion again for Tassadar. This time we have multi-shot build for Vala. In the top lane, Dahaka and Raptor on a Falstad do kill Nutcracker, and this is exactly what the blue team needed to be careful of. They will recapture the top beacon. 22% has already gone over to the blue team, and they are catching out Johanna here. The Iron Skin will come out, but she needs to be very careful. She is alone in the bottom lane, and there is a siege camp, or a bruiser camp, pushing. Vala will come down to get more multi-shot stacks. And we do see the Accelerando for our Brazilian DJ. As they're now pressuring the top. It's a 2-3 split, but it's been, what's the word I'm looking for? What happens when you have your desynced? It's like a desynced waves. Both teams are facing in a 3v2 right now, as they push with their bruiser camps. Tomjin does get pretty low here, so Fernie needs to get some damage out to give Peas the healing. DeWitt also quite low here. And Befresh is actually taking damage from minions and from that landed Viking. So Vala is down to a half health as well. They're looking to use the Condemn to try to help Befresh get more multi-arrow stacks, so they're getting very low because their healer is not here. And in fact, Tassadar and Lucio are using that speed to rip bottom. The Drain Hope misses on Raptor, and Dahaka is digging back in. Nutcracker will have to be very careful. The tongue does miss. The drag, it's called. On the far side, we see that this is not auto tech. This is Gathering Storm. This is Q build Falstad with the Hammerang. We do have Tissue Regeneration for the Dahaka. We've got Guitar Hero for our ETC. Searing Light again for Ariel. And Time Walker's Pursuit, so the Vision for Chromie, which can be also very helpful on this map. Snowed on me, but didn't stick. Nature's way of saying USA. Sure, rub it in, why don't you? Rub it in, Raka. I mean, that's Nature's way of saying USA, but, I mean... never mind, I won't get political. I won't get political. I love my viewers too much to get political. We do see a team fight happening here. DeWitt is taking a lot of damage from the Falstad, but Tomjin is locked down. The whip comes out onto Lucio, but they're jumping onto Tomjin. It's Celerando lets LED come leaping into that fight, and they do kill the cow, and he is now a steer. But low on mana, members of this team are going to have to back away. And with the Vision, they do hit B Fresh with some Chromie abilities. The Sandblast come out. LED does jump in. They're getting a lot of damage on it. Sophronia here. Pius just manages to give her that little boost in health, which means she lives and they keep this beacon. LED is pushing Raptor, but taking so much damage from the Dwarf on a Duck. But 54% on these beacons. B-Fresh will back, so will LED, but once again, that's going to give almost full power over to the 4v2 at the moment here. And Leo has had to back as well, meaning top beacon has never really switched over to blue for any significant length of time. DeWitt sitting on the point, making sure they can't recapture it. But this time, Pepegas On Ice are looking strong. They have a very slight level advantage, and they're managing to keep their hit points up, and they have a far greater beacon lead here. Damage is coming out onto Tomjin here. Peas takes a good chunk of damage on the Shockwave, kills Ariel. With no healer, they will be forced to back away. Now, they didn't have this point in the first place, and it means Befresh can come help. Now, aware that this camp is taken, is going to come up to support Nutcracker against T-Core and Raptor. In the bottom, they're still pushing on to Sylphernia and Tomjin. In the top, T-Core and Raptor are trying to fight against Befresh and Nutcracker. T-Core looking to see if he can come out and catch Befresh unawares. Befresh aware that there could be a drag coming out of nowhere. He goes for Nutcracker on the drag. I think he was hoping that they would be surprised by this, that he'd be going for the Vala, but it just comes up short. In the bottom, you don't get a lot of wins. Take your snow melted. You should take all the wins you can get. Celebrate small victories. That's a secret to happiness, Raka. We do see the 4v3 in the bottom because Falstad was able to fly down. D-Wade is taking a lot of damage, and while LED or LED has good sustain, the healing is not big. There's T-Core gonna come down too. The stun onto Tassadar, and he is going to die, killed by T-Core. Now, the top does get collected by Nutcracker, but that is a numbers advantage once again for Pepegas on Ice, as they are using these globals very effectively. Bfresh does get caught in the time trap. DeWitt is getting incredibly low here. Bfresh gets stunned by the power slide. The temporal loop comes out and they kill the Vala. And now another staggered death. This is starting to very much go in the favor of Pepegas on Ice. Not content with how game number 1 ended, they are placing their mark here. Tens will come out first for them, and it's Gust. Out comes the isolation. Well, we know what Dahaka went for an ult. Gust for Falstad. Isolation for Dahaka. We do have the mosh pit. ETC looking to lock down and murder his prey. This is one beefy carnivore. Temporal loop, and we have not yet seen what Ariel will choose for an ultimate ability or heroic ability. In the meantime, Tens have come in for Xul Gin Discovery. So we see the Blessed Shield, Entomb, Black Hole, Rain of Vengeance. Out comes the Blessed Shield right now. Thompson gets incredibly low. A good heal comes out, and the Gust disengaging this fight. They do not manage to turn the Elite Torin Cheftain into some delicious beef teriyaki. The high five will also be here from Lucio. Bfresh takes a lot of damage. Raptor smashing with the lightning rod. Bfresh down to about 10%, and again, LED doing what he can. Out comes the black hole and the wall. The stun comes out. Raptor is fighting DeWitt on the point. Bfresh coming. Another multi-shot. It's starting to do a lot of damage now with 38 stacks. Ariel has still not chosen an ultimate or heroic ability, and now it's 62 to 54. Xul Gin Discovery has pushed Distillery, has pushed back, and have their own Zerg wave. Falstad is flying top, looking to pressure Nutcracker here, and Tikor digs in as well, looking to catch Nutcracker, misses the drag as Nutcracker just sidesteps. Well done there. Bottom beacon still on the side of Xul Gin Distillery, and in the top, the 2v1 means they are going to recapture this top beacon. So we are still at a standoff. Both teams at level 11, and no Zergwave has yet managed to launch forth. This gate is down. Nutcracker does land the Dragon Hope onto Raptor, but doesn't want to get caught by the T-Core drag. That sounds like an old dance from like the 40s. Have you done the T-Core drag? Doodle-doo-doo-doo. Come out to the sock hop and T-Core drag all day. So, a good high five there from Led means that Bfresh does not get caught, but the black hole comes out. They do so much damage. Thompson's out of 4 hit points. 1! I saw the 1 before his carcass bestrewed the battlefield. Out comes the jukebox, meaning they're going to get free attacks on this fort before their minion wave comes in. Falstad will rotate down, and in the top they are putting pressure on this fort, but the pressure on the bottom fort is much, much greater. Ankle shot does take some damage from that Chromie. She's doing a lot of damage with the Dragon's Breath. Raptor takes a moment to look in. Led is getting really aggressive here. Dahaka will dig in to make sure Falstad is safe, but Led uses his crazy wall run speed to get away. Meanwhile, Nutcracker is retaking the top beacon, meaning there is going to be some percentage here adding up. Now, there are 3 top, and the other 2 are coming top as well. They're looking to catch Nutcracker in a rotational mistake. Once again, we see the Oracle and not the Shadow Walk for this Tassadar. And he sees all 5 are top, so they're going for their camps. It's now 80 to 54%. And while Pepegas on Ice did have a big lead, they've lost that lead. DeWitt is walking in, does get grabbed by the drag. Thompson, now here, so much damage coming from that Dragon's Breath again. We did see the Blessed Shield come out, but it misses. T-Core did try to use the Lurker Strain to go invisible and survive. Fires off the isolation, but it misses. Out comes the stun now. But they're doing so much damage to Led that Lucio is dead. Meanwhile, Peas is here to heal the Dahaka while they put damage. But now the boss has come out and is putting damage onto the Vala and the Tassadar. They do finally kill the Dahaka, but Leoric is killed on the far side by the 3-man of Pepegas on Ice. And what a chaotic team fight that was. However, if they don't answer this, they'll lose another gate in the bot lane, and Falstad is being sent to deal with it, while Nutcracker keeps vision in his Wraith form on his opponents. They capture the bottom, but just in the nick of time, DeWitt was top, taking this top beacon. So no percentage adds up for the members of Pepegas on Ice while they take their Bruiser camp with Peace and Sylphrenia. And Xul Gin Distillery will do the same. Once they hit 16, lead healing will become much, much larger. I forget the name of the ability at 16, but it becomes percent healing based instead of tick based. So there is the Blessed Shield comes out. Out comes the Black Hole. It will catch the healer. Out the Crystal Aegis does come out for peace. DeWitt is caught, tongued, temporal looped, and the Johanna is dead. A strong start, but not enough. So we have 100 to 51%. Blue team is in a position to push back against this wave. Now, the bad news for Pepegas on Ice is a 100% Zerg wave is pushing into a keep. And right now, they have no one defending. Nutcracker is pushing with this, and they're just now sending Sofrenia to deal with it as they look to get their first fort of the game. And they're likely going to get it. They still have 34% of the Zerg wave, and it is taking down this fort rather quickly. Yes, they have. Well done. Nutcracker will destroy that gate, and it's still a very healthy Zerg wave. 65% as Falstad comes down as well. So will Dahaka. In fact, the entire team has left that top lane. They're looking to surround Nutcracker. Tomjin is looking, but the temporal loop is here. Nutcracker, the keep is down, but Nutcracker is also down. But he can manage to maintain vision on his opponents, and he'll be back faster than any other character who could die at this point in time. The Zerg wave is finally finished off by Pepegas on Ice, but they have lost a keep in this confusion, and 16s are coming out for the Xul Gin Distillery. It wasn't looking that good for them early, but boy howdy are they looking strong now. So we do see up the frequency. He didn't go with the percent health at 16, and that's a little surprising to me. But hey, he plays more Lucio than I do. All the power to him. The Pegasus Eyes are coming in to steal the camp on the bottom instead of going for their own camp, and well played. There wasn't really an opportunity for the Xul Gin Distillery to take it. They are going to get 16s as well. There is the time trap, but that means the whip doesn't hit. Entomb comes out, but the gust comes out as well, meaning T-Core is safe. A big 50-sec. Oh, and a great rain of vengeance, meaning Befresh does not get caught by the power slide there, and Tomjin is in trouble. Very, very low. Only 300 health, but managing to escape at this point. The time trap does catch ankle shots Tassadar. For some reason, Dahaka has split off from the team. The Ice, no, he goes for the dig out and manages to save his life, meaning nobody from either team dies, although it looks like about 5 ultimates were used. We don't know yet when the next beacon phase will come up. The blue team is rotating. They're seeing both teams using their vision abilities fairly accurately. So these infested fire bats are being attacked by Pepegas on Ice, taking them out of their misery, but then biting them into forced undead servitude. Oh, but they're cleansed now. So this is sort of like a gratitude gesture right here. No more of those filthy, nasty, gross, infested boils on those boys. So they're pretty chillin'. Pepegas on Ice looking to find again a rotational advantage. And they've learned from their previous mistake. They do have more hard follow-up. They've got the drag. They've got the temporal loop. Nutcracker does get seen by T-Core, but uses the Unstoppable to prevent the drag from catching hold. And so these teams, they've split the map into top versus bottom, basically. Xul Gin Discovery leads the north. Winter is coming. While in the south, the red Lannisters control the bottom beacon. King's Landing. Anyway. Half of Nutcracker's health is gone. He no longer has the Wraith Walk, which means the Temporal Loop catches him out, and he is instantly myrtleized, which I believe is a real scientific word. The huge length drag manages to catch, but the high five lets Johanna free. And there is the stun onto Tomjin. But with that, with the kill onto Nutcracker, the red team will go for capturing both points. But Lucio is leading the full speed charge to take the bottom one so that they don't get. And there it is. No Zerg percentage for the members. of Pepegas on Ice, but they're going to take this boss, and this does feel a little bit like a desperate move because this could be very, very dangerous. Out comes the isolation onto Befresh, but the boop from Lucio means they steal this boss. The black hole comes out as well. Tom Jin is low. He manages the power slide through Nutcracker, which means the Entomb is going to miss. Tigor is taking a lot of damage here, but the trait passive is meaning that he survives. Raptor's very low on mana and is getting hit by lead. Being chased now also by DeWitt. He uses the barrel roll. He gets the shield. In the meanwhile, oh, a stun and the, what's the word I'm looking for? Temporal loop means Tassadar dies here. But Tigor is very low, 500 health. And out comes the Mosh, but it only catches Johanna, meaning that Befresh can just stand still and auto to his heart's content. The whip comes out, but Ariel dies as well. Oh, and we're going to make some angel food patties with the Ariel and the ETC going down. You ever had a hamburger from heaven? Today you have. The boss helps the keep go down, and they're still down 2 members for 30 seconds. Raptor waiting in the base for a good opportunity to use his gust. Sophrenia still throwing damage out here. Out comes the Entomb. Nutcracker's taking a lot of damage here. Raptor just wants to get back to where it's safe. But Sophrenia does manage to kill Nutcracker. The gust comes out, pushes Lead and Befresh away, meaning DeWitt is the only one hitting, but the camp and the catapults are still hitting 30%, 20%, 19%. Befresh still attacking, but being jumped on by Tigor, 0%. And game number 2 will also go to the Xul Gin Distillery as they got a 100% Zerg wave about to crash in. That's a 2-0 domination for Xul Gin Distillery and a defeat for Pepegas on Ice. Much, much, much more even game. 10-8 the kills, and just a few small capitalize on mistakes. I feel like early game, the globals were used to fantastic effect, but once we got out of the laning phase, the early game, both teams just started moving as a 5-man unit, which really weakened the power of the globals on this small of a map. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see a lot of value out of the mosh pit because of the interrupts. And, yeah, Xul Gin Distillery just were very, very patient. They got their 10s. They were a lot more powerful at 10, and they were able to use that to create victory. So, GG's. This was a season 19 matchup. I'm not going to remember what week it is, but the victory does go to Xul Gin Distillery. Good job to them. Very entertaining match. Good luck to both these teams going forward. Now remember, the VODs will be on Twitch for 7 days. They will be uploaded to YouTube under Omster. I hope you enjoyed this series as much as I did, and we'll see you again in a couple hours at, I believe it will be 1 p.m. Eastern for our next cast. I hope you all have a great day and go enjoy yourself some Heroes of the